Hi everyone, Assalamualaikum. In this video, we will continue indefinite and definite integrals. Okay. Now we look at example for division function that possible to separate with single term in denominator. Okay. So we continue with example 3. Okay. Integrate set x plus 3 bracket squared over 3x squared dx. Okay. First, this is division function. And we have integration sign here, means we want to integrate. Okay, be careful. Never use quotient rule to integrate as in differentiation. Okay, because this is division function. Sometimes student tends to integrate using quotient rule, but actually no quotient rule in integration. Okay, so must be careful, right? Okay, and then from this fraction, we have single term in denominator. Means it is possible to separating the fraction. Okay, but before that, we have square here. Okay, so before we separating the fraction, we need to expand first. And square here is possible to expand. Okay, so we expand bracket squared first. Okay, before we separate the fraction. Okay. So after we expand bracket squared, we get this. Okay. We use formula a plus b bracket squared equals to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Okay. Now we have set x plus 3 bracket squared, means our a equals to set x and b equals to 3. So from this formula, we have a squared means set x bracket squared plus 2ab plus 2 times set x times 3, so equals to 6 set x. And then plus b squared means 3 squared, so plus 9. Okay, and we can simplify set x bracket squared, so we have x here. And then we can write set x equals to x to the power of half to integrate. Okay, excuse me. Alright, after that, from denominator 3x squared here, okay, this is single term in denominator, so we can separate the fraction. So we get this after we separate. Okay. Alright, then we need to simplify, okay, using the properties of indices. Okay. So we can simplify x over x squared here, so we get 1 over x, and we still have constant 3 in denominator here. Okay. So we get 1 over 3x. Okay. And then we can simplify 6 over 3. So we get 2. Okay. Here. Okay. And to simplify x to the power of half over x squared, we can use properties of indices a to the power of m over a to the power of n, which is equals to a to the power of m minus n. Now we have x to the power of half over x squared. So we have x to the power of half and then minus 2 here. So after we simplify, we get x to the power of negative 3 over 2 here. Okay. Alright, and then we can simplify 9 over 3. Okay, we get 3. Okay. And then we can move up over x squared here using 1 over a to the power of n equals to a to the power of negative n. So we can write 1 over x squared equals to x to the power of negative 2 here. Okay. Right. Then after that, we can write constant 1 over 3 here. We can write 1 over 3 times 1 over x. Okay. And then plus 2x the power of negative 3 over 2 plus 3x to the power of negative 2 dx. Okay, so from here, we can integrate 1 by 1 with respect to x. Okay, because in between is plus. Okay, so if in between is plus or minus sign, we can integrate 1 by 1 using sum and difference rule. Okay, so to integrate this function, we still have constant 1 over 3 here. Then we integrate 1 over x using this formula. Okay, when we integrate 1 over x dx, we get ln x. That's why we get this. Okay. Then we have multiply by constant 2. So we still have constant 2 in front. Then we integrate x to the power of negative 3 over 2 using power rule, because negative 3 over 2 not equals to negative 1. So we need to use this formula. Okay. When we use this formula, okay, we have x to the power of n plus 1 over n plus 1. Okay. Alright, so when we use this formula, okay, so we have x to the power of negative half, because negative 3 over 2 plus 1 equals to negative half, and over n plus 1, which is negative half. Okay. And then we still have constant 3 in front here, because multiply by constant. Then we integrate x to the power of negative 2 using power rule. Okay, because negative 2 is not equals to negative 1. Okay, so when we integrate, so we have x to the power of negative 2 plus 1, which is equals to negative 1, and then over n plus 1. So negative 2 plus 1 equals to negative 1 here. Then after we finish, we must put plus c, because this is indefinite integral, because no lower and upper limit. Okay. After that, we have fraction over fraction here. So we can write over negative half. We can change to times negative 2 over 1. Okay, we just exchange numerator and denominator here. Okay. Then after we simplify, we get 1 over 3 ln x plus 2 times negative 2 equals to negative 4. Then we can move x to the power of negative half, we move down. So we get x to the power of positive half, which is x. And then minus 3 over x plus c. Okay, this is the final answer when we integrate this. Okay, this is division function, but never use quotient rule, because this is integration, right? Not differentiation. Okay. Alright, now we continue with example 4 under definite integrals. Okay, example for division function that possible to separate with single term in denominator. Okay, example 4, integrate from 0 to 1, 1 minus e to the power of 2x bracket squared over e to the power of 2x dx. Okay, alright, here we have division function. Okay. And the question is integrate, okay, with integration sign here. Okay, so never use quotient rule to integrate, okay, as in differentiation, because in integration quotient rules is not allowed. Okay. Alright, so no quotient rule in integration. Okay, so from division function here, we have single term in denominator. So means it is possible to separating the fraction. Okay. But before that, we have square here. Okay. So before we separating the fraction, we need to expand first. Okay. And square is possible to expand. Okay. Here. Alright. So we expand bracket square first. Okay. So after we expand bracket square, we get this. Okay. Alright, when we expand 1 minus e to the power of 2x bracket squared, we get 1 minus 2e to the power of 2x plus e to the power of 4x. Okay, we use this formula. From a minus b bracket squared, we have a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. Now, our a equals to 1 and b equals to e to the power of 2x. So when we expand, we have a squared here. So we have 1 squared, which is equals to 1. Okay. And then minus 2ab, 2 times 1 times e to the power of 2x. So we get 2e to the power of 2x. And then b squared. Okay. So b means e to the power of 2x. And then bracket squared. So to simplify e to the power of 2x bracket squared, okay, we can use either a to the power of m bracket to the power of n. From properties of indices, we have a to the power of m times n. So if we have e to the power of 2x bracket squared, means we multiply 2x by 2. So we get e to the power of 4x here. Okay? Or if we use a to the power of m times a to the power of n, it equals to a to the power of m plus n. So if we have e to the power of 2x bracket squared, means it is equals to e to the power of 2x times e to the power of 2x. So we can use properties of indices e to the power of 2x plus 2x. So we get e to the power of 4x. So to simplify this, we can use either this formula or this formula. Okay? Alright. So after that, from here, we have single term in denominator. So we can separate the fraction. Okay? Then we get this after we separate. Okay? Alright. And then we simplify using the properties of indices. Okay? Alright. To simplify 1 over e to the power of 2x, we use this formula. If we have 1 over a to the power of n, it equals to a to the power of negative n. So if we have 1 over e to the power of 2x, it is equals to e to the power of negative 2x. That's why we get this. Okay? And then from here, we have e to the power of 2x and e to the power of 2x. So we can simplify. So we get 2 here. Okay? And then to simplify e to the power of 4x over e to the power of 2x, we can use properties of indices a the power of m over a the power of n. So equals to a the power of m minus n. So to simplify e to the power of 4x over e to the power of 2x, it will equals to e to the power of 4x minus 2x. So we get e to the power of 2x. That's why we get this. Okay? Alright, after that, we can integrate 1 by 1 with respect to x because in between is plus and minus sign. Okay? If we have in between plus or minus sign, we just integrate 1 by 1. Okay? Alright, now we want to integrate e to the power of 2x. Okay? So we can use this formula. Integration of e to the power of ax dx. A means any constant. Okay? So the formula is equals to 1 over a e to the power of ax. Okay? Plus c for indefinite integral. Okay? So now our a equals to negative 2. So after we integrate e to the power of negative 2x, we will get 1 over our a equals to negative 2. So 1 over negative 2 e to the power of a. A means negative 2 and then x. Okay? And then to integrate 2, we can refer from integration of 1. If we integrate 1 dx, we get 1x. X only means 1x plus c. So if we integrate 2 with respect to x, we will get 2x. Okay? And then to integrate e to the power of 2x, okay, we can use integration of e to the power of ax dx. Now our a equals to 2. So the formula is equals to 1 over a means 1 over 2. E to the power of ax means e to the power of 2x. That's why we get this. Okay? And then this is definite integral. Okay? Means we have lower limit and upper limit. So we must write square bracket. And then from lower limit 0 to upper limit 1. No plus c. Okay? Alright. So after that, we substitute upper limit first. Okay? We substitute upper limit into variable x. Upper limit equals to 1. Okay? We substitute 1 into variable x. And then in between must minus. After that, we substitute lower limit 0 into variable x. Alright? Right, after that, we simplify. E to the power of 0 equals to 1. Okay? Negative 2 times 0 equals to 0. E to the power of 0 equals to 1. Okay? Then we will get negative 1 over 2 e to the power of negative 2 minus 2 plus e squared minus negative half times 1 equals to negative half. This is 0. And then plus half times 1 equals to half. Okay. And negative half plus half equals to 0. Okay. And then to solve here, okay, negative 1 over 2 e to the power of negative 2 minus 2 plus half e squared, we can solve using calculator. Okay. Okay, how to use calculator? Let's say if we want to find the value of negative 1 over 2 e to the power of negative 2. Okay. When we use calculator, fx 570 ms, okay, to solve this part only, okay, first we press button negative here for negative here, okay, and then 1 over 2, so 1, and then over, and then 2, okay, and then times e. To press e, we press shift and then ln, okay, and then the power of negative 2, so after shift ln, so we press negative and then 2, okay, then equal sign to get the value of negative 1 over 2 e to the power of negative 2. After that, we minus 2, and then to find this value, you can use this technique. Okay? Alright. So after we solve all from the first bracket here, the second bracket is 0. So the value for the first bracket here, and then minus 0, equals to 1.627 up to 3 decimal places, right? So this is the final answer. When we integrate from 0 to 1, 1 minus e to the power of 2x bracket squared over e to x dx, alright? Coming up next, integration by U substitution. If you like this video, you can subscribe. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. Bye. Assalamualaikum.